to have you back. Residents of Ayatoro community are apprehensive over what they call near extinction of their inhabitants. Located on the front lines of climate change and exploration activities of oil firms, Ayatoro, a coastal community in Alaje local council, are faced with ever-worsening sea incursions and rising sea levels. For tourists, tides are always a beautiful sight to behold at shorelines, but for Ayatoro residents, the waves have become a nightmare, a reminder of the community slipping into eternal oblivion. Speaking on this development, we are now being joined by the monarch or head to speak of the Ayatoro community, the person of Oba Oluwambe Ojagbowumi. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
All right. So it's said that over 10 kilometers of your region has been lost to the Atlantic Ocean. It could be more. So what has been the response of the state government itself? They're saying at some point that it's too big of a scenario for them to handle alone. But what are your thoughts on this?
That's what they have told us, because we have reached out to them on several occasions. They have come. They have seen the devastation. But they said their hands are tied by funds, that they need the support of the federal government and the international community. The sea is not taking it easy. It's not, cannot wait for bureaucracy. We have actually lost 75% of buildings and habitable lands. The 10 kilometer that they say we have lost is the land that had no building. We have lost another 5 kilometers of buildings, residential areas. So we have no coast, we have no homes. My people have become refugees in their own community.
That's very unfortunate, and indeed we apologize that you're experiencing such. But like you said, what's going on is not going to wait for the process of bureaucracy. There's not going to be any pause. So is there an interim plan pending when you might get a significant or timely response to ensure that things don't escalate a lot further?
At our end, as a community leader, there is little we can do. I constitute a committee who has been helping men and women and children to relocate within the community to safer areas, because it's at night the sea incursion or the waves come. It rises above buildings, slams against them and drags everything into the sea. So we have a rescue team who rescue children first, then their mothers, then a little property that they could. Then we try to allocate small portions for them free of charge of the land where they can do makeshift building. Or we try to talk to family members who could give them a room or somewhere like shelter that they can lay their hand upon. And because the community is a religious community, the head of the community doubles as the head of the church, because it was founded strictly on Christian call and movement. So in church, I try to use the word of faith to encourage the people that that we should not lose hope, that we know there are good men and good agencies or good governments all around the world, that it's all a matter of time that help will come, and I'm having that stronger faith through this kind of platform, that they are hearing us, and we really need that help. This is actually the first time the community will be needing the government help, because on its own, it built a place that they call Utopia, an impossible community that 2,000 people came to a virgin land, and within 10 years, it became the most industrialized community in the whole of Africa. They built trawlers, they built all kinds of industries, and everybody had employment, and nobody had any reason to suffer. The community was feeding everybody. It was absolute communism that they practiced, absolute theocratic communism that was inspired by Christian love of sharing. So this is actually the first time, and the community was paying tax, even in the colonial eras, in bulk, because they know the number of people there. It's easy to know the number of people. We have the data in the palace there. So we're paying our tax. This is the first time we really need their help, and we are not getting it.
All right, Oba, very good. Now, the issue of climate change and, of course, exploration activities of all firms around that region has also contributed to the unfortunate erosion of, land in your area. How have you been responding to these challenges, and what would be the immediate, solution to that? Is it about? It's not about sand filling here. Is it about physical, filling of those coastal areas, as it were, from the federal government, if they to come in this regard? What would be the most immediate needs? Yes, you talked about the issue of evacuation of, your subjects at night when the tide is coming in every now and then, but that's not enough. We're talking about a longer, more tangible solution here. So what would be that solution?
The solution to that sea incursion is to do an embankment. There are studies that have been done, and the community even spent money. Get experts. Immediately we noticed that the rate of encroachment was getting very high. Year 2000, we consulted a company. They did a comprehensive analysis, soil analysis and report, and they told us disaster is coming. So the solution to that place is embankment, heavy stones. Some people use aluminum shields. And there is a country that I think I don't know. There's a country that manufactures that. They have analysis to determine the strength of the wave. We don't have the technology. We had attempted to use wood. We pegged wood along the coast. We use some iron to hit those wood into the ground, and we put some crosses to try to stop the wave. It didn't last more than 2 weeks. That was the best we could do as a community. So what the government should do is to do embankment. There are stones everywhere they can get from rock in Ore, in other parts of Ondo State, Idanre, and other places. Those heavy rocks, they have equipment that will cut them, then they move them, then they arrange them along the coast. So instead of the wave slamming against our mud, because the whole of our terrain is moldy, that's why it's so easy for the wave to be dragging them away. The wave is very violent, and our soil is very soft. So once they do this stone, like an embankment, it stops the wave. Behind the stone is just water that will come. It will not be that strong force of wave. Then behind the embankment, if we cannot get sand, we can mud fill it.
Well, embankment definitely sounds like a long-term solution.
It's a long-term solution.
And hopefully the right authorities are listening and will act quickly enough.
All right, Oba Oluwambe Ojaboumi, would like to thank you. He's the royal head of Ayetoro community in Ondo State. They're losing quite a lot of coastal area in their region. We'd like to thank you for your thoughts on those issues. Hopefully you get the help you need soon.
Thank
Good
you.
to have you with us.